Deltarune Chapter 4. The halfway mark. The night has begun to act. Questions have arisen. And with fate painting a bleak picture for our heroes, it is clear that things are starting to get serious. That's what Chapter 4 is. A turning point. Now let's see how this all plays out. Anyway, cool intro out of the way, Chapter 4 begins right after Chapter 3, and Toriel invites Susie to go to church with her and Chris. She initially doesn't want to go, but figures that since the church is close to the bunker, it might be worth searching for clues there on how to get inside. After definitely paying attention to the sermon and asking around for information, Susie decides that the best place to look would be Noelle's house, so she asks her if they can go study at her house. After hanging out in the house for a bit, you can enter Dessa's room, where you can inspect her guitar, which has a code inside. Unfortunately, Chris does their classic thing before he can read the entire code, and then stuffs us inside a closet. Thankfully, you can traverse the vents in order to escape, and you can actually see some pretty cool stuff during this section, like Chris playing the piano. They're pretty good, I'll give them that. You end up getting caught by Noelle and Susie, although you can escape when they're not looking. Now after letting the lesbians do their thing, you can go back to the guitar, where Chris will proceed to jump you, and shenanigans ensue in the closet while Susie and Noelle chat. Then in comes Carol, and she will kindly ask everyone to leave. Not gonna lie, this part did put me on edge a little bit, and the wind in the background that sounds like screaming definitely does not help. After that, you head back to the church, but not before seeing a nice pants moment, which I didn't even know was a ship, but cool I guess. Unfortunately, the knight managed to get to the church first and has created a dark fountain, so now you need to go after them. Starkville is actually really cool, with the aesthetic and all, and definitely uses the church theme very well. After doing a bit of exploring, you meet the old man, or as we all know him as, Gerson Boom, although he's technically not Gerson. I'm still gonna call him that though. He's an old philosophical guy who doesn't believe we should follow fate so closely, and we should forge our own paths instead. He also acts as a mentor figure towards Susie, and boosts her confidence in her healing abilities. And the biggest surprise of all, if I didn't get spoiled, but it's fine, is that he's this chapter's secret boss, and he uses the green soul mode. Only Susie participates in this fight, and this plays into their mentor and student roles that makes their relationship so interesting. This fight is a favorite of mine, although that's not a very hot take, honestly. Another character you meet is Dragonstein, and he's just a big goofball, I love him. His boss fight did proceed to kick my ass though, and I'm not sure why, but it's a funny fight, so I'll excuse it. Once you reach the night, they proceed to get away, and you have to open a numbered lock in the light world in order to follow them. Susie thinks that Gerson might know the combination, so she then opens the dark world back up. This causes the previous dark world to become inverted, and enemies that previously turned to stone are back to normal. You can also find the egg here, and I sure hope it isn't as complicated as last time. Well, I think we all know what we gotta do now. After that, you manage to find Gerson, though there's something off about him. I don't see this fight getting enough praise, because I genuinely think it's really cool. It's essentially a game of Simon Says, using sound cues to know which way you gotta block. The sound design and atmosphere are top notch, and it's the main reason why I like it so much. Rouse then appears and destroys the fake Gerson, which is just one of the statues from his study. After Susie crashes out on him for not telling her and Chris crucial information, he begins to explain why he's been acting so weird recently. He desperately doesn't want Chris and Susie to know how the prophecy ends, as knowing could break their spirits. He believes that if anyone should be hurt by the truth, it should be him. These two chapters, though especially Chapter 4, have shown that Rouse has low self-worth. He thinks that he only exists to help Chris and Susie, and therefore it doesn't matter if he is hurting or has nothing to himself. It's only through his journey with the two that he begins to see his own value. I was always a bit indifferent to Rouse, but he started to become a favorite of mine, which I didn't expect, at least not until a later chapter. After the serious stuff, this random fire extinguisher guy tells us the code, and we can finally enter the third sanctuary. Every hazard and enemy you have faced so far has come back for one final test before you reach the night. Dragonstein will also help you climb up a wall, and the recruits you gathered along the way will offer their support as well. After one last push through a power of friendship moment, it's finally time to face the final boss of the chapter, the Roaring Knight. Wait. Toby, it's only Chapter 4, Toby. That's right. The final fight of the chapter is against a Titan. This would have been even cooler if I wasn't spoiled about it. Just like the animation budget, this fight is of a higher scale than we've ever seen before, and we'll need to climb up it. Once you reach the top, you can face the Titan head-on. Your TP gain is greatly reduced here, but by shining light on dark attacks, you can quickly rack up TP in order to use Unleash and reveal its weakness. Unfortunately, when you deal enough damage, it will begin regenerating, and you can't stop it. But when all hope seems lost, Gerson, being the absolute Chad that he is, will come to your aid. Then you and Susie jump inside the Titan and seal it from there. Susie ends up running ahead after the fight, and upon realizing, Ralsei desperately tries to catch up with her. And in a horrible turn of events, Susie sees the end of the prophecy, and judging by her reaction, it wasn't good. My guess is that someone has to die in the end, though I'm not sure who that could be. After finally sealing the fountain, it's revealed that the church is completely empty and in disarray. We have officially reached our lowest point, and can do nothing but return home for now, with just a familiar song accompanying us. Upon returning home, we see... Damn, we really did befriend my mom last night. And that's essentially Chapter 4. Normally. What if things got a bit weirder? So first of all, it is revealed that Burley is alive in this route, so that's good. So the main difference of this route takes place in Noelle's home. After Chris takes us out of their body, Noelle will invite them into her room in order to talk. When you eavesdrop on them, Noelle will explain something that happened last night. Chris seemingly went to her house and took the thorn ring off her, and said that everything will be okay. Noelle will ask if she could say something else, and through fourth wall breaking, selecting Proceed will teleport you into the room, which allows you to get back into Chris's body. Chris will try to get her to stop talking, and upon her asking who will hear them, you select
Me.
The room will become darker, the hue will change to resemble the dark world, and she will attempt to talk to you. After a bit of a conversation, you select You force her to put back on the thorn ring. A heartbeat will begin to quicken. She is unable to back away until... You know, the normal route gave me a bittersweet feeling at the end. Now I'm just scared. Anyway, Chris proceeds to throw us into a trash can and kicks the ever-living shit out of us, which is completely justified. Now, aside from some dialogue changes, the ending, and other unsettling stuff, the weird route isn't that different from normal. And that's all for Chapter 4. This genuinely exceeded expectations in basically every way. We may have lost many theories along the way. Chess theory is dead, I'm so sad. But these chapters will begin a new wave of creative projects, and that is something worth celebrating. Anyway, see you all in 3 years for Chapter 5. Oh. That's pretty cool.